Good morning, everyone, or good evening, depending where you're living, and welcome back here from the R.V.R. headquarters in Italy. My name is Matteo Castagnoli, and I'm glad you are joining me here today for this live streaming. As you know, R.V.R. since 1979 is developing and manufacturing a fan transmitter from 30 watt up to 60 kilowatt, air and liquid cool, antennas, combiners, filters, and much more, and delivering all those products in more than 150 countries all over the world. A couple of weeks ago, we were in Amsterdam for the international show, the IBC 2022, and we were presenting the DRT series, the series of digital compact transmitters we are launching officially today for all those clients and broadcasters that were not able to visit the show in Amsterdam and visit our booth. With me today, discovering everything related to this new DAB+ transmitter, we have Remo Nannetti. Hi Remo, good morning.
Hi.
And with Remo, we are gonna take a look in details all the technical features of this new digital compact transmitter from 50 watt up to 1 kilowatt and soon also up to 2 kilowatt in the standard DAB+ DMB. So Remo, before start talking technically about this new series, how was your experience at the IBC 2022? How's your feeling?
So the experience in the IBC this year, so a few weeks ago, was very important because it was the first exhibition, so sector exhibition, broadcasting exhibition, science, so 2 years block. And we had a lot of visitors, and I have to say also a lot of interested visitors, so selected visitors. And it was really a good opportunity to present, along with the, let's say, actual technology, analog technology. So the new in the analog FM, we had this TFT series, 1 kilowatt, 5 kilowatt. Also the other side, so which will be the future. So the digital technology and the equipment, real available equipment for digital technology, the DRT series. This was, so the feeling positive, and the feedback we had today very positive.
So today we are officially launched in streaming and the products are already available on our website www.rvr.it. All the DRT series, I'm showing you the compact transmitter, 2 rack unit and 3 rack unit depending on the power you're going to choose. And here on the website, you're gonna see all the technical details and technical specs. I do remember www.rvr.it. For all those persons that are connecting right now, my name is Matteo Castagnoli. Today I'm here with Remo Nannetti, R.V.R. specialist and project manager here in the company, and we are presenting live the new DRT series, compact digital transmitter DAB+ DMB from 50 watt up to 1 kilowatt and soon up to 2 kilowatt. Remo, the first things I want to know from you, since we are talking about digital radio, and we know all over the world we have several standards, and there are many discussions about migrating from analog to digital, the FM broadcasting transmission. Give us a quick recap on the technology, on the radio technology evolution.
So it is, the history of radio has ancient origin, particularly in Bologna, that as you know, as the people know, Bologna saw the first experiment of Guglielmo Marconi, that is the father of the radio. And along with the technology during this time, so the last century, changed a lot also the use of the radio. So in the time of Marconi, first the technology was AM, narrow band, and utilized basically for civil or military use. Then after this, we become in the 50s and the 60s to the AM, in medium wave, short wave, long wave for long distance transmission, but for information and also for music, with all the limitations that were in the standard. The first technical jump was the introduction of the FM, because FM allow different and the higher quality. And then with the stereo in the FM, we go to a standard capable to broadcast quality stereo and RDS, for instance, so additional service. This is the radio of today. So FM stereo is still today a very good media with very high quality, and also the service. We think the RDS, hello, traffic announcement, and other auxiliary. So this is the situation. But logically, it's clear that, like already done in the telephone and in the television, it will be one day one migration to digital. Why? Because the trend is to go to one efficient use of the frequency band and to higher possibility to transmit to broadcast additional service. So for this reason, a company that they are leading, like R.V.R. in the FM broadcast market, so traditional market, are not only interested, are forced to follow the evolution of the technology. I remember that R.V.R. was in 2005, so the first European radio equipment manufacturer that realized one iBook in the time. So today, HD radio exciting line of product, and for the American market basically. And in 2010 we had already one platform capable to support. Yes, I see here, to support the digital standard in radio as well in television. This gold digital video that now we see in the web as discontinued was the first idea, very similar to the technology of the DRT, a platform with a very high capability, and where we can put almost all the standards they are required, because we have a worldwide market, and this is the issue. Now we are going to DRT, because the DRT is the last generation of platform that we can use for the different standards that are today in use in some countries, they will be used in other countries.
So from the website we were seeing the evolution of R.V.R. as well, not just of the technology. So from the gold digital video, let's say first digital series up to this new one, the DRT series we are launching today. And I do remember, so it's a digital radio compact transmitter DAB plus DMB from 50 watt up to 1 kilowatt and soon up to 2 kilowatt. All technical details are already available on our website on www.rvr.it. And for everyone that is right now connecting in this social media, tomorrow you can review this live recorded program with all the technical specs that we are going to talk about with Remo right now. Remo Nannetti, project manager here in R.V.R. Elettronica, and we are going to check with him all the technical features and technical details about the new DRT series. Remo, which are the plus about DAB technology? So, which is the plus of this standard against other standards?
So first I want to say that in all the technological transition are not only determined by technical aspect. We had some example in the time of the video recorder. The VHS was not the best, was the best concept of video recording. I want only to say that these transitions are conditioned from socio-political, economical, and also local factors. So, like to say, we are today speaking about DAB, and we will say why, but in the last 20 years, was a lot of different standards, FM Extra, HC Radio, iBook before, that we already spoke about this, RAVIS, CDR, SPT. Finally, for the core market, so the European and also the major market in the world, DAB or DMB, they are very similar, are the established standard now, because of the reason that we already indicated. And generally, we have also to think about this. The digital standard for radio, if we consider it to radio, we can divide in in-band standard and out-band. So in-band is where the standard, like it was the iBook, HD radio, the DRM Plus, that are going to use in digital modulation the same band. So FM band 88 to 108 or some other little difference in other countries, where instead the analog FM, we are going to use DRM Plus or other. So in standard, or iBook in the time, HD radio. The outband are standard like DAB that for technical reason of frequency availability and other are going to use different band. So all the infrastructure, transmitter, antenna, cannot be the infrastructure for the FM. In this case, DMB and DRB plus, DRB was the first development, so Eureka was the project about 20 years ago, then it's going to DRB. The band of use was in the beginning L band, so 1.5 giga, then go to band 3 or both, and today the evolution of the coding system from DMB to DB plus is the last. So this is outbound, so it's a VHF transmission where digital OFDM, so multi-carrier transmission system with a very powerful coding system that practically there is a different central function. One is the muxing, so the contribution of the different station go to one central muxer. The muxer put together this different contribution of the program of the station, and then with a transport stream standardized, we go to modulate the transmitter. This is the structure. So because the contribution, depending on the quality we want to achieve in a DAB plus block, so channel, is about 1.5 megahertz bandwidth. We can allocate, depending on the quality, from 10, 15 to 20 programs. And change also the philosophy of the importance of the transmitting. Why? Because today, who have more power or the biggest antenna or the more powerful transmitter in FM or the best location, have the best coverage, at least starting from the best coverage. With the digital technology, when all the stations, the 14 or 20 program into the DAB plus or DMB signal, they will start with the same position. Then the importance and also the acceptance of the program is related more to the content. So we are going more to the origin, the quality of the content transmitted over a almost similar platform. If the station they have the same data quantity, will determine the choice of the user. This is another important element in this consideration. So change also the philosophy of the networking.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. So we are going to launch right now. I'm going to ask you the definition of the DRT series and the presentation of the product itself. In the meantime, I want to say hello to all the people that are following us right now from Indonesia, Morocco, Timor-Leste, Nigeria. So all the friends that probably were not able to come and visit us at the IBC 2022, they are going to be able to discover everything related to the new DRT series, DAB+, DMB digital radio transmitter from 50 watt up to 1 kilowatt. We have a question, like that's for you, a question from Mumbai. They're saying, which are exactly the countries today that are transitioning to DAB+ and are ready by law, and which are the others that are testing?
So let's say DAB is an open standard, European standard, and let's say the first market, the first country where it is already realized that will be in short switch off to DAB is the Europe, so 27, 28. But we can say Norway in Europe is the country where already, so still in the moment there is only digital transmission DAB, but a double coverage FM and DAB in French, in UK, in Holland, in Germany, and also in Italy we have, for instance, we are now broadcasting from Italy, there is a double networking. So let's say this 28 country in Europe is a market because according European rules, the standard is already decided and it's only a question when will be implemented. Then there are very, very big diffusion also in Australia, and a lot of countries around the world, they are testing it. So we find trial and test plants in a lot of countries, in Africa, in Asia, in Korea we have DMB that's very similar. So let's say this idea of one digital multi-carrier, so FDM standard in band 3 is already well implemented.
I'm going to show you a map available on a website of the World Hub.
Okay.
So all the guys that are following us on our social media, they can have a look and have a better idea. You can explain it if you want.
Yes, no, it's very interesting. We see in the green we have regular service. Regular service can be exclusive like Norway and parallel to the analog FM like the majority of the other country. And then we have trials. You see the second color with trials, several counties. So trials can be also that the capital city or the major network, they are trying one plant or two plants to have on air. And the other is country with interest. Okay, is a big part of this you see in the east. So a lot of countries, they are interested. The question is logically, if for the reason that we say before, political, social, local, they will choose this standard. But the system, the technology direction is this one. So the VHF is a right band to make the issue is always mobile. So the service that we are going to replace, or the standard are going to replace, is a mobile service. Because we have already a radio in the digital television MUX,
yes.
So home is not a problem. We can already receive or demodulate in TuneIn or similar here, but what's missing is one system able to replace really with the same coverage possibility, the same also cost of service like the FM, because each from us know that FM you can receive almost everywhere. And there is also, from the side of the network of the radio, is also a cheaper way to connect people. So we don't know which will be the evolution, the interested country. Maybe these countries are interested to realize their own standard because of political reasons. But this is, so the map is interesting, Matteo, but can be also a map in rapid evolution. For sure, our core in Europe and a lot of countries in Europe and African area will go to DRT.
We have a couple of questions and then we are going to get back on the track of our schedule for the presentation. And does China will ever move to DAB+? That's the first question. And then they are saying, do we need to change the FM receiver?
Okay, yes, start from the second because easy to answer.
Yes.
I will say, in Europe, for instance, there is a law that forces the car radio manufacturer, since the original was 2019, now 2020, but for now, for sure, every radio, car radio, should be able to receive also digital. So let's say this is the fact, and nobody will switch off one network or one system like FM as long the majority of the user will be not able to receive. This is the big problem. We can switch off. If you switch off probably FM in Europe now, in a lot of countries nobody will hear radio, mobile. So this is the reason of this, let's say, delay, reasonable delay in the implementation. So the question is this one. The question about China is a little bit more complicated. We mentioned before in the standard also the CDR, China Digital Radio. So very nice. So China Digital Radio is very, I say, sympathetic because they did one standard similar in the feature. Cannot be harder. You are going to digital. When you go to digital, you go to multi-carrier system if you want to put a lot of information in a relatively narrow band. And what they did one system with a lot of operation mode. So in DMB we have 4 modes of operation, depending on the number of the carrier we will use, standardized. China, they did different mode of operation, where one is similar, let me say, to DRM, one is similar to HD radio. So they had this multi-function, multi-standard, but finally they are not transmitting really now. They don't have really implemented a digital standard, and they continue to use the FM. So this is, so about China, I don't take the responsibility to give you one answer.
So this is not just a presentation, it's a masterclass with Remo Nannetti here live from the headquarters, and we have a person from Tenerife, Mr. Lopez, that is saying hello to you. So
hello, Mr. Lopez.
you have several fans watching you. So coming back on the presentation of the DRT series, so here we have the webpage where the people interested in moving to digital or doing tests or migrating or continuing in transmitting FM and as well in DAB+, they can browse and see all the products. You can officially present the line and give a description.
Okay, yes, first I would like to say this one. Normally, has happened that we present something in a exhibition, a broadcast event, and it's something that will come. So we present something today, and maybe in 2 years you can buy. This time we try to change this attitude, presenting something that we have already tested for a long time, that is available in, let me say, normal delivery time. This is the first thing that you like to say, because a lot of people ask also on IBC when we will, and why we make this now after that we do all the work internally, because we want that now is a note item, a matter, this transition to digital, that the people they want to do something, they have the right product from us, logically. So this is the first. After this introduction, logically we cannot start with the full, totally full packet of product portfolio. We chose the power size and the feature of the transmitter we go to present. We decide to have two different equipment. First, for the mechanical part, one medium low and medium power in 2 unit rack, DRT 50, 100, 150, like you can find in the web, up to 500 watt. So let's say in 2 rack unit, we put 500 watt. Later we will speak about the definition of the power. Then we take another cabin for what? For the medium high power. These are all power in RMS, so you cannot compare directly with FM. So normally, let's say, you can say that the digital power can be 1/4 of the analog one, but take us a roughly indication. So in the 4 unit, as you say, we put one DRT 700 and one DRT 1 kilowatt, so 1 kilowatt RMS. And 1 kilowatt RMS by 35 dB mer, we will see later.
Yes,
in the lab, we have already in advance realization the 2 kilowatt. And 2 kilowatt is really by DAB a very high power. So this is the portfolio available. So
that's the 1 kilowatt, if you want to comment it.
Yes, what I have to say, the philosophy is the R.V.R. philosophy. Not too much lamp, not too much. So yes, it's aesthetic, I like it, it's also nice, but we prioritize the functionality. What is here? The first things, and we are proud to say it, we decided to use a core for one very established and professional manufacturer. So we take a core of Teamcast, like we did in the gold. Why? Because to keep updated one digital modulator is a very complicated question. So, because there are updates, debug, and then we say, okay, the modulator we choose one of the best, and we implemented this. Then R.V.R. did other things in his more familiar field of action. For instance, we take care to do a very innovative, a very efficient power amplifier stage. So RF specialist, after 44-year activity, we did in this DRT family a Doherty amplifier. Doherty is the last standard that you can have, but it's not it's the last Doherty standard. So wideband, so broadband, no necessity of tuning to have all these with very high efficiency. And then we introduced some very particular new in the control of the things, so telemetry. These are the two important things.
Great. So we are live here from the R.V.R headquarters in Italy. My name is Matteo Castagnoli. I'm here today with Remo Nannetti, RF specialist and project manager here in R.V.R Elettronica for the official launch of the new DRT series, digital radio transmitters, DAB+, DMB from 50 watt up to 1 kilowatt. I do repeat, compact transmitter, and most important, the units are available in a regular time frame, so you can start asking for pricing and technical specs visiting our website www.rvr.it, where you can find everything related to those units and all technical specs for each unit from 50 watt up to 1 kilowatt. We are receiving many questions, and we're going to take a look to all those questions related to DAB+ at the end of this live program. Remo, this morning you were in Rimini in our factory number 2, where we have the production lot related to high power, but as well we are doing tests and everything related to DAB+. I would like to ask you if we can start commenting the video we are seeing. So we are seeing the actual units available in test in the laboratory. Feel free to start commenting what you did in Rimini this morning and what our clients are watching right now in video.
So we decided to give to the customer one real concrete idea about the laboratory and the equipment. We take in Rimini on the test bench 3 equipment, and in this case one 250 watt, one 500 watt in the 2 unit, and 1 kilowatt. All the 3 equipment are connected, operating the nominal power, connected to dummy load, and this give us the possibility to show you working equipment. So these are probably the 3 power sides that are more.
I'm going to pause a second the video. Which are the inputs available? Because several are asking. So I'm going to freeze the video so you are able to comment.
Thank you. Okay, this is a standard version. We have available 4 inputs. They can be, you see, on the left, ATI 1, ATI 2, then we have one out of the loop ATI, also for monitor. Then we have the possibility to have QAP, ADI. So all this one we can fix in the menu the priority of switch, seamless. So from the point of view of the inputs, external input is very complete. If you look to the rear panel, thank you that you block in this point, you see also, okay, the left RF monitor out was clear, the input for external synchronization, but we have standard internally GPS or other GNSS receiver, so the synchronization could be externally or internally, and you saw also one SAT input. So why? Because we can integrate, it is integrated inside one DVB-S2 receiver. So the network, the radio, the user, they have already one distribution over satellite. They don't need to take one satellite receiver external. They can use the internal. To the internal SAT receiver, they can use one of the other input as backup. So it's very flexible, very complete. And I please also to consider, when you make the evaluation, that to have all this opportunity built in is also a question of saving cost. So because you have to consider GPS, yes, no, satellite, yes, no. So this is complete. Now we are looking in this part of the video, the monitoring and telemetry. Stop maybe here. The monitoring and telemetry. What we have? We have a complete range of remote control possibility. First, standard SNMP2. So there is no more discussion. Big network, they have one NMS normally based on SNMP2. So the complete SNMP2 with complete NIB is standard in the equipment. Then we have like this is the web browser. Very simple, very practical to use. So parallel to the SNMP, you can connect to the browser. Then you see now in first on the right, another, stop here please, another particularity we will see in detail later. What is this? So SNMP for the central browser, no problem. Web for the people that want to look by the PC, or they have only this, can be also this. It's not mandatory to have one NMS. Then, much more innovative, we create this, let's say, app, this bot for Telegram. Which is the issue? The issue that we create in this case, you see, R.V.R DRT 1000 is our 1 kilowatt transmitter. Then with this option, you can connect to it and you can use Telegram like you know. So priority input with password. You can go to ask for info, so to monitor. You can go, if you are authorized in this group, to give command on, off, standby, change the power. So also very important parameter. For instance, change the delay in the SFN when you are going to make adapting all the SFN network. So it's not only a little play. First, all the people, they have one telephone. Yes. So much practical than one PC or one NMS. Second, you can decide who do what.
So can we say we are the unique brand actually having a remote control via Telegram or?
Yes, for my information, yes.
About,
in this form, yes. And I say this was also in Amsterdam very, very surprising for a lot of people. But it's really very practical. I repeat in saying, logically I can switch off, switch on, change the power, clear. I can also do change the delay in the network. If I have a problem, I have to make adjustment on SFN network. So it's very complete. And last, you have all the history remain there. Nobody can, so it's very practical.
So via Telegram, you can control in a group of persons, depending on the rights you have, you can control the transmitter and keep logged of all the changes and what's happening inside the unit.
Who make what, and yes, this is the, it's very practical because it's universal, simple.
See. So by standard, you have the actual SNMP2 telemetry,
yes.
While as an option, you can have the plugin for Telegram to control the unit.
Exactly.
Okay.
So you start with the web and SNMP, and you can update with an option, in the reality, very cheap. Go to the Telegram option. Yeah,
so like 10 different technicians can have the Telegram in their own mobile and control station.
Absolutely. The group decide who do what.
Okay, very nice and interesting.
This is another thing, maybe. Also the web, we can stop maybe here. Also this web interface, we did something practically what is. We can select in the graphic you saw before, we can select a parameter and put in a graphical form some parameter in the history, day long, week long, or whatever. Then you can, for instance, see if you monitor the power or the transport stream, if the failure that you have, the fault you have, correspond to, I don't know, network, transport stream problem. So it's not one graphical exercise or something to make nice the things, it's very practical. So when I say we try to do what is useful, not only what is nice, this is one of these. It's a very good thing because you can go to the web and see what's happening in the last 3 days, and then when you see logically that the power go down and the same the transport stream go down, you know that it's in a relation.
So you have a log. It's a track.
It's a log in graphical form, so very simple to analyze. You can do.
Yes.
This is
now we are
seeing.
Yes.
And you can choose what you put there. Almost all the parameters can be put there.
So it's like having a timeline,
yes,
a graphical timeline showing what's happened.
It is, exactly.
And talking about measurement and parameters, you were doing some tests on the units for us, so you can comment what you were doing in Rimini this morning.
Let's say, if we do some things, we have to do state of the art. Today there is no more place to do half things, let's say this one. Second point, so in the digital world, the parameters that are relevant are, the power, but the relation between the power and the quality condition. So this is very important. For instance, we say nominal power 500 watt, but it's 500 watt by 35 dB MER we saw before. MER is one of the parameters they can represent the quality of the operating of the transmitter. So this is the first. So we did, you see, so more than 35 at the nominal power. Same thing is the shoulder. So the shoulder is one parameter that gives you one idea about the quality of the system, of the complete system. So let's say measured with one ATL is a standard universal measurement equipment for this kind of equipment. We have top class parameter. And I take the occasion to invite the people that I can understand they are comparing. This is the constellation, very, very clean, very, very exactly. So when you compare one digital, two digital transmitter, don't consider only the factor power, but look, how is the quality in this power? So I can give you, instead 500, 1 kilowatt power, but we have mere of 25 dB. So this is very important. So spectral, purity, this is all measured also without filter. So the transmitter, all this family of transmitter, we can say has a top state-of-the-art feature, under the point of view of the poor quality.
So for those that are connecting right now on our social media platforms, this is the new DRT series digital radio transmitters, DAB plus DMB from 50 watt up to 1 kilowatt and soon up to 2 kilowatt. We are talking with Remo Nannetti here, RF specialist and project manager in R.V.R. Elettronica, and we were talking about all the features about this new digital compact transmitter series from R.V.R. Elettronica, about the DAB plus technology, and most important, like this new way to control the unit via Telegram is an option available in this DRT series that allows a group of technicians to have the full control, keep track of who is doing what on the site, and having everything written in a very famous and popular application like Telegram. This is something amazing. You don't need the web telemetry. The web telemetry comes built in the transmitter, but you can select and purchase this option just to have always available any kind of notification without checking the email, just receiving a notification on the app. And Remo, talking about the remote control, I want to show the interface just of the Telegram, so you can give us some.
Yes, so
some
we are now located in this group. You see in the bottom of the things you have info, reboot. So this is a standard info. You have MER, you have a current, the power. So all the basic information about the operating of the transmitter, the delay, and. Then you can.
It says execute, so you can do changes.
You can do change. He asks, are you sure? Then you do the change. You receive an acknowledge of the execution of this with time map. Then you can switch off or switch on the transmitter, so on. Are you sure you want to turn on? Yes, executed. You can put standby, off. You can also do a very useful reboot. So, you know, digital equipment basically can have some moment of stress. So we create a real reboot, so a real remote reset that maybe can resolve this special case when the system go to be blocked. We can do the setting that I said before. So it's a simple way to really to manage the equipment.
So we do remember classical remote telemetry via IP, and the Telegram option that allows you to control the unit via Telegram app is an option you can ask when you are asking for a quotation or you are purchasing your transmitter from us, visiting www.rvr.it or sending your request directly on our social media platforms. You're gonna see it over here on my side, so www.rvr.it or the Facebook page R.V.R. Elettronica, Instagram rvr.elettronica, and the YouTube page where tomorrow you can see this video uploaded and see again all the technical features of this new DRT series available already for shipment with regular time frame. So we are talking about 2-3 weeks depending on the actual request and availability, but those are machine already available, tested, and in some cases already installed. So we are over the air in several places with the new DRT series. Remo, R.V.R. is doing not just FM transmitters, analog, and starting from this year as well, this new line of DRT, DAB plus transmitters, so digital, but we are talking in the R.V.R. group as well about antennas, filters, combiners, not just analog. So right now we are talking about a series of elements as well available for the DAB plus transmission. And you were visiting our factory number 3 where we do passive elements, so you can give us an overview about.
Yes, so you say already, R.V.R. also for the FM is not only the manufacturer of the transmitter with a very wide portfolio, but is also manufacturer of a lot of accessories. So filter, combine, antenna system, and also very particular accessories, switching element, relay, and. So with R.V.R. you have in one end the transmitter and the accessories, a very important accessory like filter antenna that you need to broadcast. So in the moment that you go to launch one new service like DRB, you have to have also this passive component. In the reality, we produce antenna for DRB since 5 years, and we have a lot of antennas already installed. Any case, I want to say that also for the DRB, we are able to supply the necessary accessory, one end. And in Ferrara, there is the antenna passive element department.
So for this reason, we're going to take a look of a video you have recorded, and we're going to see what's available always from our portfolio.
Good morning. We are in the factory of Telecomunicazioni Ferrara, the R.V.R. department, located in Ferrara, where we manufacture antenna, filter, and all the passive elements for FM as well for DRB. For the DRB line of product regarding the antenna system, our first element is a dipole, professional dipole, available in with different connector for a maximum power single dipole of 3 kilowatt RMS. This dipole is the basic. Then there is one 3-element antenna that we use for directional diagram, and we have a series of panels. So 2 different panels to realize a complex system, high power system. The major feature of these all the antenna products are the use of stainless steel to assure robust and then long life against corrosion, pollution, and similar. Always the use of very good material. This is Teflon, not PVC, like sometimes to see. And then we can design our antenna with a dedicated software and very high definition terrain database to realize the pattern and the coverage that is needed for the customer.
So dipole, DAB plus dipole, so not just analog from the R.V.R. group, and as well it was on the video a filter, right?
Yes, dipole. They are the 2 passive elements for the standard configuration that we need. We don't have only dipole, we have dipole, 3-element, 4-element, 2 model of panel, because we need to adapt to the different customer situation for support, so kind of tower, and for coverage. So we have all the basic elements necessary to do any coverage, any antenna system.
So let's say that as it happened for the FM analog range of transmission, R.V.R. can supply the entire workflow on the transmission side. So from the transmitter up to the antenna.
Yes.
So we are talking as well about accessorize, filters, combiners, so everything needed, plus all the services, because we are not just box mover or manufacturer, we are giving also a huge and important service to our clients that are evaluating maybe the start of a new kind of transmission, like in DAB plus standard. So as Remo was saying, we are able to define what kind of antenna system you need and what kind of accessorize and other stuff you will need in your transmission site. Talking about the filter, we're going to see the video you have recorded in Ferrara just to give a presentation about the critical mask, right?
Yes, so as filter, we concentrate the presentation showing one of the filter for DRB. The concept is the same, is a modular concept, so we can realize 4 cavity, 6 cavity, 8 cavity. Technology last double cross coupling, so it's a technology that allows to have reduced attenuation, high selectivity. So with this filter, in the philosophy of R.V.R., simple, modular, so we can adapt to the every need. This is the basic of this family of filter. We were also the first that use this technology also in FM. So we put in the DRB what we did for the FM, and this you can say, poor innovative concept also in the filter.
So someone was commenting that we are like the Zuckerberg of the because we were talking about the Telegram app, and several people they were impressed about this option that is unique in the market right now. So it's something very innovative just to check the transmitter with a messaging app, not with a telemetry, because since many years we are talking about remote controls when we are talking about telemetry and different kind of telemetry.
I think the philosophy is the philosophy should be to observe what is in the market, to observe which are the requirements of the potential customer, then without any arrogance, to choose something that can put together these two. So this is new. We look what the other have. We had something that can be useful for the customer. This is a simple philosophy without any arrogance. And we think that this will be for sure very, very utilized for our
I'm showing
customer.
again the video for those that are just connecting right now. So the complete control. So you can even reboot the transmitter.
Absolutely. We create to give a service, not to give a play to say I have, not to give a real service. This was
interesting. And we're coming back on the passive element. So we're talking about the filter, and we're gonna see the video you were recording just to listen from your voice what we have available at the moment and the small presentation about the filter.
Bye.
Good morning. We are in Telecomunicazioni Ferrara, the factory for passive element of the R.V.R. group, and we would like to present you the family of filter that we have realized for DMB application, so VHF band 3 application. The basic concept, all are filtered with double cross coupling to achieve the best result in terms of selectivity. In this case, we have to show you one 6 cavity filter, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here is the input and the output, and we have the tuning cavity, this connected, and the tuning cavity, and the two cross-coupling system. This cross-coupling is patented and an easy tuning and very high characteristic. So this filter is available in different versions, starting from 4 cavity, 6 like this, of 8 cavity, and can be realized in online or like this folded version. The connector they can give mounted according the need, and the maximum power of this filter is 1 kilowatt RMS under the most critical environment condition. So particularity of this filter is compact, is robust, and is like I said before, in the modality that we realized for the cross-coupling. So the cross-coupling is easy to retune, and the filter is available, can be tuned without any change in the hardware for within all the band 3 VHF.
So I do have a question before talking about the services that R.V.R. is offering for those that are looking to migrate or to test or to start transmitting with DAB+ standard. It's why a broadcaster right now should choose our state-of-the-art product against other manufacturers, or why they should give for a complete solution made 100% in Italy from R.V.R. Give me technically an answer, not a salesperson answer, just a technical answer.
So I invite everybody that want to choose one digital equipment, to make a very fair, very careful analysis of the feature of the product. So this is the first thing. And the people, they can read the number, they will understand, and then they also the number of the commercial proposal, but the technical part, they will understand that they have, I think, one of the best compromise between feature, cost, and behind this product there is, in the modulator part, one name that don't need to presentation. In the other part, system, R.V.R. quality, R.V.R. service. So I think the numbers speak in very clear way about this. And the second point is that, you say before, one end for all this. This is very big advantage. So innovative, technologically state of the art, one end.
So we are talking with just one provider that can take like the way to manage your project from A to Z.
Yes.
So completely.
Yes.
Okay, we're still seeing the images of this new DRT series, digital compact radio transmitter, 50 watt, 1 kilowatt DAB plus DMB. And we were talking about services, so I would like to ask you if you can comment the kind of advanced service R.V.R. is supplying together when we are talking about transmitter plus antennas.
Let's say this one, the purpose of each transmitting system is to give the best coverage, starting from the component that you need. Normally we think transmitter, power, feeder, filter. In the reality, the antenna is the most important, one of the most important. Why? Because the antenna is a passive element and is the last translator from electrical power to irradiation. So I say is a mechanical thing, don't require energy. This is well done, is one part, there are time costs, but after this, work without running cost. So the system work depending on the good balance between the active part, transmitter, the passive element. The fact that R.V.R. have all in one hand, R.V.R. is not interested to sell you, so to the customer, the biggest transmitter because don't have other to sell, or the biggest antenna because don't sell the transmitter. We really do the evaluation together with the customer, the best compromise. I remember to each person that an antenna can, so you can have 1 kilowatt on 2 dipole and have the same effect in the coverage with 500 watt and 4 dipole. So this is one example. In this part of the discussion, it will be very important also the antenna calculation, antenna coverage calculation. This is a service that we do for the customer when we sell one antenna system.
So what we're going to see is how we manage the coverage study, just to understand how many depots or what kind of antenna system we can suggest to the clients to have the proper coverage, right?
Okay, it's a complicated issue.
Yeah.
You can go back, please. Then.
Yes.
Let's say we start from what? We start from the map of the terrain, where is the site, like this. We take now one. Okay, from the map, and the next step is to put on the map the simulation of the tower, the height, and we have this kind of picture. What is this picture? This picture is the calculation on a very precise database of the line of sight. So the magenta colored area are the area that in this site, from the antenna position, are direct in sight. So from here, for instance, we can say we can use one omnidirectional antenna. Why? Because it's almost circular, the radiation. And then it's the first thing. Then we go to the antenna choice. So omnidirectional can be a dipole array, 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, or can be one panel, one of each phase. Okay, then what we do? We take the characteristic of our antenna, we put with the terrain in this high definition version, and we calculate degree for degree on all the azimuth, the coverage of the things. Here we are running a little bit summarizing. You see, color is associated with field strength. So you can know in every point of your map, you can have in every size, you can know which is the prevision of the field strength. So you can know if in the road or in the city or the village you have and what you have of signal. And additionally, it gives you a file that you can use in your Google Earth, so standard Google Earth. You can navigate in the area and look which is the coverage that the transmitter we define, the antenna we define, give you, and decide. You need bigger transmitter, you will change. So it's like to say, before you buy one antenna in a complicated system, you have a very serious evaluation which will be the result. And this is not easy, because you are accounting on the quality of your database, of your software, of your experience. But finally, we would like to say we try to sell a result to the customer. not one transmitter plus one antenna plus one feeder plus whatever. Huh? This is the service. You say this under service, yes. This is a customer service, really effective, because we simulate with very high precision the coverage that you will reach.
Great. So, in conclusion, today we were presenting the DRT series. We want to thank you, all the people that are following us on our social media. For those that they just connect right now, they can see the video in a few minutes, again from the beginning, or starting from tonight or tomorrow on YouTube and on our other social media platforms. I'm going to recap to you, so you can write as well for quotation or technical specs on www.rvr.it, on our Facebook page, Instagram, LinkedIn, or directly by mail at sales@rvr.it. Por los amigos que hablan español, hoy día estábamos hablando del sistema de transmisión digital DAB+, con la nueva serie de equipos digitales de R.V.R, los compactos de 50 vatios hasta 1 kilowatt DRT, serie DRT digital, por la transmisión DAB+ de R.V.R. Y lo estábamos haciendo con Remo Nannetti. So Remo, just to thank you for the entire presentation of this new series of transmitters, of course available already for sale and in some cases already installed. Do you want to add something to this overall presentation?
Well, I want to say what I say already, to invite the people to pay attention in the comparison of the feature of the transmitter and to evaluate the advantage of state-of-the-art in a manufacturer that can offer you all the package, because the final result depends really from all the quality of all this part. And this is what I can suggest. And we remain available for everybody that need additional special information about his solution, about what you can do with this.
Great. In the meantime, we're seeing again all the images of the compact transmitter we were presenting today. Here we have in the laboratory 3, where you were doing some tests and measurement. We were discussing about the telemetry, the telegram option, the most important, the technical side, the kind of input the system has and the way that the people can bring contents to the DAB transmitter. We have a client that is asking how many channels is carrying these transmitters. I know it's a very complicated question, but if you can summarize in 1 minute, it would be great.
Okay, let's say it's like a train. The dimension of the train are fixed, then depending how many plays you want to give to the people. Let's say from standard 14 program to 20 program. This is the range. The range, depending mono, but speak music, but this is the range. For sure, between 15 and 20. This is the normal configuration.
Okay.
But doesn't depend from us, depend of the mixer.
Okay. So depending as well on the quality of each radio station, like for example, if I have a news radio station that is just talk, is not music.
You don't need to use all the band. Probably your renting of the space is cheaper, but the final effect under the radio frequency point of view is the same.
Okay, that's just to give, we have several questions. We're going to reply to all those questions as well in the next few days via message. There was someone that was aware they need to change the FM receiver in Nigeria. Not yet. That's just clarify this one just to keep the people
no. I understand.
Calm.
Let's say we are speaking about an out-of-band standard. So the FM receiver is not able to receive the DRB. So you keep the FM for the FM. The new receiver, like we show in our labo, and there are also in the moment not expensive, they can normally receive both. And I remember also that there is in networking one linking between DRB and FM. So the network, like in European country, they have coverage in FM, coverage in DRB. The receiver will be able to receive DRB as long the quality of DRB is there, it's enough. And switching to the same program in FM when the DMB is not present and the quality is low. This is one example. So you need an appropriate receiver, a multi-standard receiver.
The one we are seeing is an appropriate receiver. It's a DAB
FM,
receiver
both.
and FM.
This make more, they make EP, FM and DMB, and link in between the two networks.
Great. So I want to thank you for your patience, for giving us all the details and answering to all the questions we were receiving on our social media. So thank you so much. Probably there's no more international show apart from some in South America for this year, for the 2022. So we're going to, I think, have the first international show at the NAB next year. And then we are coming back with the classical schedule for the show, actually, hopefully.
Yes, thank you. For me, it was one opportunity to show what R.V.R. did in this field. I hope that it was interesting for the people they want to change or they have to change, as well for the people they don't need to change now, but it's always important to have one vision ahead. This is the sense of our information, huh? And we remain, in any case, available for any particular request.
Very useful information. For all the details and quotation, pricing and technical specs, you can visit www.rvr.it or write us on Messenger here on Facebook or on the other social media platforms. I want to thank you again. Thank you to Remo and as well to all the engineers that were working on the development of this new DRT series, digital compact transmitter, 50 watt, 1 kilowatt in the DAB+ standard. See you soon with several good news from us when we're going to have new products to be shown. We're going to have Remo ready to show it to us and to technically explain everything related to them. Thank you again. I wish you a great day or a great night, depending where you are.
Thank you.